Hi everyone! Unfortunately, Jake Sawyers couldn't be here today. He's too busy breaking the rules somewhere. I have told him to stop, but unfortunately he won't. So my name is Venetia Blind. I am Cardiff's only severely hilarious, severely fabulous, and severely sight-impaired drag queen. I am wearing a pink eye patch over my left eye. I've got blue and purple ombre hair. I've got a long crushed velvet blue gown, which you will see a bit more of later, a bold red lip, and a glittery eye. I will be your host for today, and I'm very excited. This is my first ever MaDCaff, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. And I would first like to introduce Natasha Hurst, the chair of DAC, to say a few opening words.
Thank you very much for that lovely introduction, and welcome everyone. It's great to be here. I'm Natasha. Just to describe myself for those of you who don't know me, I'm a white woman. I'm in my 40s. I have long brown hair, brown eyes, and I'm wearing a sort of mustard coloured zip-up hoodie. So this is the final MaDCaff event that Disability Arts Cymru is holding, and it's to celebrate the involvement of all of the volunteers that we've worked with, and to celebrate the performers themselves who attended the live events across Wales over the course of the project between April 2019 and March 2020. The last two events happened online. One that was held before Christmas, and this is the final one. And impressively, over 80 volunteers have engaged with the project. Many more performers, over 23 events. So I'm really, delighted to say a huge thank you to all of our volunteers, all of our incredible performers who have worked so hard and with so much enthusiasm. And what you've created has been just amazing. And I know that everybody who's been involved has really enjoyed it. This also is my first MaDCaff event, so I'm sorry to be so late coming along in terms of not having been at the ones before, but I'm really pleased to be here today. After this event, we are going to be emailing out certificates to all of the volunteers who've been involved. And as Rachel said earlier, usually at the live events, we'd have a magic hat, which is a hat to collect donations from everyone who attended. But since that isn't possible now, we'd encourage everybody who would like to donate and is able to donate to use the button on our website instead. And I think there'll be a link in the chat box for that at some point as well. In terms of the future of MaDCaff, I know that there are two groups of people who have held MaDCaff events with us who'd like to continue running them themselves once the COVID restrictions allow us to. And again, thank you to those groups. And also it really shows the success of the project, that people have been so inspired and engaged by what we've been doing, that they want to carry on with that themselves. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how that goes in future. But you'll hear from them later in the event, and they'll talk about their experience of being involved with the MaDCaffs and how they're going to keep that going. Big thanks also to our funders Volunteering Wales, who've been really supportive, especially because there were so many changes as a result of COVID in terms of the final two celebratory events. They were meant to be public events, but we've moved them online to Zoom, and it's been working really well. So finally, thank you, all of you who are here, for coming along today. I hope you really enjoy the event. And I think I'm passing over to Jenny from Arts Council Wales now. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, thanks, Natasha, and thanks for inviting me to be here today. I'm Jenny Stokes, and just to audio describe myself, I'm a middle-aged white woman with long brown hair who didn't get around to putting on any makeup this afternoon, and I'm now regretting it, seeing myself on screen. I think that's me. I'm wearing a black top, very boring. I'm an Arts Development Officer at the Arts Council of Wales, which is the development and funding agency for the arts in Wales. I know that, like me, you're going to be looking forward to all of the performances this afternoon. So I'll only say a few words. The Arts Council supports Disability Arts Cymru as one of its Arts Portfolio Wales organisations, and I'm privileged to have worked with the organisation over many years as an Arts Council officer. DAC plays a hugely important role in supporting disabled and deaf artists across Wales. This work has become even more vital over the past year, and it's a credit to the whole of the staff team that they've not only been able to continue their work during lockdown, but also develop it. I've been really impressed by how DAC has continued to connect and build relationships, despite us not being able to get together face to face. An exciting part of their work, obviously, are the opportunities it creates for artists to share their work, including through platforms such as MaDCaff that we're celebrating today. I only got to one of the events, but at least I did that before lockdown. It was great. DAC has ambitious plans to champion arts led by and with disabled and deaf artists, making sure that they remain and become more of a part of the arts that are now on offer in Wales. And at the Arts Council of Wales, we share that commitment to making sure as many people as possible can take part in the arts and tell their own stories. We're starting at the moment, a lot of our funds have been closed due to COVID-19 and trying to get some emergency funding out to artists, but we're just starting on reshaping some of our targeted funds and our regular lottery funding programmes. And one of our aims when we do that is to try and increase the number of disabled artists who receive funding from us. And we're really grateful for the open and honest conversations we've been able to have with disabled, deaf and neurodivergent artists to help us inform how we do that. There's loads more work to do, and we're really grateful that we've got an amazing organisation like DAC to work with to help us and advise us. So thanks again for inviting me, and I think I'm now handing over to some performers. Thank you.
Amazing. Diolch yn fawr, Jenny and Natasha. So let's begin, shall we, with some performances. Now, I'm going to be kicking us off, but before I begin, I just want to tell you a bit about my name. So, why am I called Venetia Blind? Is it because I come at great cost and I don't actually do that much? No, not quite. Is it because I'm quite difficult to clean? No, it's not that either. Or is it because if you slightly pull my strings, I might just fall down and break down? Yeah, it's that one. No, actually, my name is Venetia Blind because, as I said earlier, Venetia Blind was born ever so slightly, and I do mean ever so slightly, my fingers are very close together right now, registered blind. So events like these are really important to me because as somebody who has a bigger than life personality, I do find it difficult sometimes to perform in conventional spaces. So today is a real celebration of all the hard work you put into MaDCaff and hopefully the future. Now, the first performance I'm going to perform for you today is a little song I wrote. It was inspired by a TED talk by the late disability activist Stella Young, and it's about how, as disabled people, we're often placed in a situation where we're inspirational. Oh, people love us so much just for being ourselves. So without further ado, I'm going to move my camera slightly up so you get the full picture, and I'm going to perform a song to you called Inspiration Porn Star. Enjoy. I think we can all agree this bitch don't need no sympathy. And whenever I found success, people would say, oh, bless. You've been on the internet, you've seen all the posts. I'm young, I'm blind, and for some of you kind, I am an inspiration porn star. Comment, like, tag and share. Heartwarming content, don't you dare. Would you of some inspiration porn, just a little sample. Picture in your minds a wheelchair user asked out to prom by a guy who liked her. But I would bet that without her permission, the caption reads he asked her out despite her condition. Tell me, why is it okay that we see disabled bodies in this way? 'Cause I feel it's time to change. We're just living our lives, is that so strange? But maybe that's just it. We're not seen enough doing a really cool shit. We have an underrepresentation, and it borders on dehumanization. That's a big word. Is who me or me? God, you're so brave me. I'm not a living miracle, I'm not being satirical. I'm not exceptional because I live with it. I should make you feel grateful, not a little bit. Rant not over. I am an inspirational porn star. Now don't get me wrong, I'm great. Mesmerizing, some would say, but here is where it gets a little bit tricky. You've been fed a lie that disability's a bad thing. Venetia, tell us why. Our portrayal on screen paints a sad sob story not approved by this queen. An inaccurate representation of the disabled population. For us it's just normal, let's stop the bastardization. Not seen as sexual beings, you wanna see me nude? Don't forget the only disability is a bad attitude. Tell me, why is it okay that we see disabled bodies in this way? 'Cause I feel it's time to change. We're just living our lives, is that so strange? But maybe that's just it. We're not seen enough doing really cool shit. We have an underrepresentation, and it borders on dehumanization. 'Cause all you wanna do, baby, is ooh me, oh me, God, you're so brave me. All you wanna do, baby, I'm not a living miracle, I'm not being satirical. I'm not exceptional because I live with it. I should make you feel grateful, not a little bit. This song's over, and the title was Inspiration Porn Star. Thank you very much. I'm assuming you're all applauding extremely loudly. Oh, thank you very much. So yes, that song is just about how I'm just an inspiration porn star, you know, and I guess you're all inspiration porn stars as well, if you want to be. So, next to the stage, I would like to introduce Lee Green, who is going to be reading some of her poetry. Can we give Lee Green a nice warm welcome virtually? Lee, take it away.
Hello everyone, coming at you live from a car in Ross-on-Sea, yay! My name's Lee Green. I'm a non-binary artist and poet from North Wales. Just as a description, I'm a non-gendered, large person with shoulder-length hair, wearing a purple t-shirt and a hoodie with a big rainbow hand on it. So I'm going to do some Welsh poems and an English poem as well. My work focuses on processing the stuff of life that comes through me. So the first one's about mental health. It's called Felly dyma fi ar ôl y crio.
Here I am after crying. Here I am after the crying. Uncomfortable eyes, a lot of depth, no clarity, bright colours and echoes that never end. I'm on the floor, I'm drowning. Everything is huge, my senses are melting, destroying the innocent, unable to hear your voice as bells, sad bells, and my voice. It's just croaking. There is no immunization from the constant threat. It's so strong. I'm bowing down, quietly waiting. It's the true consideration.
So the next one. So I identify as queer, and I don't really hear queer Welsh poetry. So representing the LGBT community right here. Woo! This one's called Cnawd Cynnes.
Warm flesh. When I saw you the first time, stepping up the hill, I didn't imagine that I would taste any salty perfectness of a well-arranged tongue and your hair, or we would be bubbling together, the magic touch hand in hand. I didn't want to hope for your lips after a nightmare year. It was so sweet to smell and to hide in the cave, but there you were in public, looking so beautiful. You had large boots, your face full of purpose, like a dignified angel. I could see your spirit lifting my heart. Our love was like a dreadful secret, and twice this was our connection. But again, I didn't want to make a mess of things. A kiss, it certainly wasn't a mistake. Strong love and sympathy, encouraging us to regenerate things in the early morning. I didn't think I was feeling silly. We were playful. You are the hidden girl of my heart.
So this next one is about meeting one of my idols and my inspirations, my writing inspirations, the wonderful Kay Tempest, and what it's like having a bit of a chat in the public toilets with them and sharing that massive inspiration and that feeding into the rest of life and being like, yes. So bad habit of not telling. I spotted them at a party. Oh wow, look, there's the person, your favourite. They're always their own heroine, which is probably the most valuable thing of all. I'll just try to tell them then. Good plan. And of course, a fat load of good it does, now sitting here mooning over them. Now I was close. In fact, I could feel their fire. I was always frank in person. How many people can say that? I think I really ought to reciprocate in my own small way by telling them how much their writing has thrilled me. Fearless uniqueness, shameless silliness and courageous seriousness I love with heart. Two people together, still so palpably hot for each other, such unhesitating delight. Successful writers are not known for their lack of ego, I think it's fair to say, but how inspiring for the rest of us. Now I will, with sincerity, never sacrifice substance, not once file a half-assed that'll do piece. How could that not inspire? I was dazzled. The sheer strength of bloody will required to stay so original and curious for decades is what it takes to be a great writer, and why so few of us are. Numb, marching desperately through the extraordinary story. Celebrate it, capture how silly, scary, monumental and ephemeral life is. Writing about life itself. You don't have to agree with everything a writer writes to be thrilled by them. I saw written things that offended some people. Oh well, their loss. Not the be-all and end-all. A writer's output occasionally offends. You found a lot more than that. What great writers teach you is not just a new way of framing the world, but to be bold in your framing. They make you see the world the way they see it, and in doing so, show you how to find your own voice. This lesson felt at the beginning of the year, death, which is why I feel so sad and happily still alive. Thank you. And I've got one more. So last year has been tricky for all of us, especially so For me, maybe in my own way, I was caring for my mum and she passed away just before Christmas. So it's been an incredible journey that I was privileged to be part of. So I've written a poem called Mother's Love. Cariad Mam. This is to you, Mum. I hope I make you proud. Mae isio sôn am Mam yn ei thŷ bach twt. Dwi wir angen
I'm
sgwennu.
thinking about mother in her little house. Such great love while as time rushes past. Nobody will care for me in the same way ever again. Although we're not always happy we are together. Sometimes I'm ashamed of what happened almost. Doing her hair every morning, always trying her best to feed hungry stomachs, tidying and evaluating everything quietly without any fuss. On her last birthday, I can't see her suffering. I try, as she tries, to fill stomachs and show true love.
To the rest of the afternoon. Bye-bye.
Diolch Lee for that very raw and honest and beautiful performance. And yes to more queer Welsh poetry. Thank you very much. Big clap from me in my spare room / office / yoga studio / dining room from Cardiff. Next to the stage, I would like to bring up Dak's favourite hooligan poet, Dak's words, not mine, Des Manet. Big clap for Des Manet.
Right, the first poem tonight is one I wrote quite some time ago when a certain Mr. Trump became president of the United States, and it's nice to sort of read it to say goodbye to him now. Really, it's called The Cash Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light that a beaming misogynist at twilight is gleaming, white hoods at back and lynching at night? O'er ramparts we watch drunken billets all steaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that the earth was scorched bare. Oh, say, does the cash-spangled banner still wave, though all of humanity's sent to the grave? Oh, the things barely seen as reaction does creep, where a millionaire host claimed outsider reposes. What is that which will vote like a bunch of tame sheep? A reality TV host, half conceals, half discloses. Now he catches the gleam of the photograph's beam, enough ugliness exposed to poisonous dream. 'Tis the cash-spangled banner, a loincloth to save, while the poor and the destitute head for the grave. And where are the braves who were here before the ching of the gold rush and cotton's confusion? A history of genocide, here's the cat's paw. Now the Standing Rock Sioux face foul pipelines pollution. No refugee has a welcome here save for the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the cash-spangled banner does divide and rule in a race to the bottom where the folk act like fools. Oh, this should never be, when free men shall hand over loved home to war's desolation, and the murderers ransack and fuck other lands. Praise the power of the rich as they destroy your nation, and as global warming turns to crops to dust. This be the motto, in Trump is our trust, and the cash-spangled banner in triumph unfurled will be the only thing left when they've destroyed the world. Thank you. That's the first poem there from me. The next one is a BLM inspired poem. It's called Shots. Daddy's been shot sitting in a car by one of America's finest. He's a rising star. Get out the car, walk backwards. That's what the cops will shout. Daddy doesn't process this in time to get out. The cop busts a nut in a sexual high. It's the same emotion that sends a man to die. Daddy sits there bleeding, dying in a car. Next to him, a child now has a mental scar. The child starts wailing, teardrops on black skin, as he realizes his world is caving in. When you kill the father, you kill the child too. When he becomes an adult, he might shoot you. Thank you. The next one is a poem which I won't introduce because the title is in the end. Sometimes I look at you and think, just dreaming really. Then I listen and my heart starts to sink. When you pour out your troubles, I want to drink your heart, but that's kept locked away with all the things for special occasions, the special people, not the like the silverware and the crockery. I'm the invisible man in your estimation, but I'm real and I'm here and I care. When things go well, you run straight past me to greet a lover. But when things go wrong and there is no other, you can find me tired and alone, the remote console. The last one from me is a fairly precious one for me. Won second prize in the initial Disability Arts Cymru Poetry Competition, and since then it's been published in about 3 books, and it's going to be published again in yet another sort of anthology this year. It's called Recovery. Listen, therapist, we need to talk. There are things you don't see with your brief therapy and half a dozen sessions before you set me free, with your emphasis on illness and diagnosis, hoarding symptoms like stamp collectors after an elusive penny black. You medicalize social problems like they're our fault, but we cannot be wished away. Are we ill because we're depressed, or is it because we're oppressed? And is the key to this oppression being robbed of self-expression? And there's a riot in my head. But like Martin Luther King said, riots are conversations of the voiceless. And we lost our voice because you usurped our language. Let's take the term recovery. For health professionals like you, it becomes an excuse to cease treatment, eliminate resources, deny us the luxury of difference. In your hands, the land has no parole. But we invented the term recovery as a way to understand our difficulties. And it's how we hold on to the past and recover identity. It stops us being written off. Just as Lord Byron said, deformity is daring, and we strive to make good, catch up, and maybe overtake those who've never felt the pain of emotional overload. And as we recalibrate our brain, we echo Kurt Cobain when he wrote, "Thank you for the tragedy. I need it for my art." Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Yes, Des, thank you very much. That was fabulous. I mean, we've all been watching the Netflix original series that is the United States of America at the moment. And as you said at your first piece, it is just so slightly more reassuring that a certain person is now out of a certain monochrome house. I would now like to ask the legend, the icon that is Sarah Beer, to introduce 2 lovely people who have supported the MaDCaff project in South Wales. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Jake. Hey, everyone. It's great to see you all. Thanks for coming. I'm going to start off asking some questions to Louise Gore from Ferndale. Hopefully she's going to appear on our screens any minute.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Louise.
Hello. I'm really enjoying your evening. Fantastic.
Good.
Venetia, I haven't stopped laughing. Wonderful. I want you to open the show for us when we do our next one.
Brilliant. Oh, it's lovely to have you here, Louise. Just want to ask you really a bit about what your experiences were of hosting the MaDCaff event at Ferndale, and what you hope might happen in the future when we all get back together again.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We had a fantastic night. It was very much a litmus test because we'd never put anything of that magnitude on at Arts Factory before. We're based, for anybody that doesn't know where Arts Factory are, we're based in Ferndale in this tiny little village in Rhondda Fach, but we had the place rocking on the evening. And it was standing room only. It was just phenomenal. We had local artists, local poets, we had ventriloquists, musicians. It was just fantastic, and we managed to squeeze in some open mic performances as well. We auctioned off some artworks, and we were able to raise funds, and we were extremely lucky to actually do that. It was literally, I think, a couple of weeks before lockdown, I think, Sarah. Yeah. So we would love to put something like this on again, because we know that it is something that is needed for our community. It was embraced by our community, and we managed to raise, as I say, sufficient funds to put another one together. In fact, we have got RCT creative writers here somewhere, Les Allen, if he appears, and they were great to sort of step in and put their poetry pieces together as well. So yeah, we would love to do another one with you.
Brilliant, excellent. Yeah, well, we've got the banner already, so hopefully it won't be too long before we can get back to the lovely centre, because it was, as you say, it was a really good night. And yeah, we're hoping that maybe if we have time at the end, somebody from the RCT writers would like to perform a piece for us, because I know Les and Anne are both here this afternoon, which is great.
Yeah.
So thanks ever so much, Louise. Thanks so much for all your support. It was much appreciated.
Oh, it was
look
a
forward to
fantastic night. Fantastic night, and you know, to finish on a high really before we went into lockdown.
Yeah, it
we
was
were extremely lucky, and the volunteers were just fantastic.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was the week before lockdown, wasn't it? So
it was.
Yeah, the last time we all had a good night out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, all the best, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you. Same here.
Thanks. I'm now going to chat to one of our MaDCaff volunteers, Jill Powell, who came and volunteered at one of our Cardiff events, and is a long-time supporter of Disability Arts Cymru. Hiya, Jill.
Hiya, Sarah.
Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you really what you enjoyed about the volunteering, and sort of general thoughts you had on the benefits of the project.
Yeah, I volunteered because, as you say, I'm a committed member of the DAC, and the DAC has done so much for me in confidence-wise. I wanted to help with this project, and I was flattered that you asked me. I really enjoyed the experience, and it's great to be included and to feel involved in something, because when you're disabled, you feel quite isolated. So I was, you know, it was really good. I love the entertainment, and I love socializing with everybody that was there. It was like a real outing, you know, really enjoyed it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jill.
That's okay.
Hopefully we'll see you before too long at a real life DAC event.
Yes, that would be lovely. Look forward to it, Sarah. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm now going to hand you back to Jake, who is going to introduce our next guest. Not Jake, sorry. Hand you back to Venetia. Sorry, Venetia.
That's okay, Sarah. You can call me whatever you want, but only you. So don't forget, if you have any comments or any questions, you can use the chat box. Thank you very much for talking about your experiences with MaDCaff, everyone. Clearly, it's done a lot for a lot of people, and hopefully will carry on as well. So next, I would like to introduce Steve from Tape to say a few words about his experience of MaDCaff. And leading on from Steve, I would like to introduce Ghost Buskers.
Hello, I think, is it me and not Steve? Is Steve here anywhere?
I'm trying to find Steve. Is he logged in under a different name?
He was here before, so it might be you, Neil. Just
okay.
tell us what you thought of the project, please.
Yeah, I can't see.
Okay, thanks, Alan. So I'm Neil from Tape Community Music and Film, and one of the projects that we run is Ghostbuskers, but we've also hosted MaDCaff previously, as well as coming along to play with the community group Ghostbuskers, who will perform shortly. I think having MaDCaff at Tape has been a really incredible experience, having people coming and accessing the centre who wouldn't maybe normally come there, who are all local and creative and similar to what we're looking at today, really. I mean, looking around the room and seeing some familiar faces and some new folks, and thinking, well, there's lots of opportunity there for creative crossover and people working together. And I think that the Disability Arts Cymru and the MaDCaff really support that, and it kind of aligns very much with what Tape aim to do and try to support. And it's been an absolute privilege to be able to host that at the venue. And I know that a lot of regular folks that come along to Tape have since gone along and joined other MaDCaff projects when they've been running different venues, and it's been really just an exciting crossover. I was going to use the word sort of pollinating there, creative pollination, but I might not use those, but I have. So there we go. Alan, have you got any questions, or do you want to hear from any of the Ghostbuskers on their experiences, or should we play some tunes?
I can do it. I can do a quick question. Tape really helped us just before Christmas when they managed to get the location changed to the church, and it was really one of the standout ones. We got to see Ghostbusters play, which is always a pleasure, but they had a celebrity drummer playing for them that day. Would you like to tell us who that was, Neil?
I can't think who was playing drums that day, Alan. Can you throw me a clue?
It was me.
There we go.
Wonderful. Right.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ghostbusters, if that's okay, Venetian.
Cool. Thank you very much. Well, in the spirit of Ghostbusters, so what Alan's just said is bob on, like coming and joining in. We tend to play. And when we open up our sets, we sort of say we're gonna start performing to you, but by the end of the set, we want to be performing to no one because you're all in the band with us joining in. So we normally put songbooks out in front of where we perform so people can join in with all the chords and everything, and encourage people to bring their accordions and their grand pianos if they can wheel them down the high street to watch us play and join in with whatever instrument they can drag along. And we've also normally got a pot of kazoos to hand out to people in case they're instrumentless. And there we go. And Linda's currently modeling a kazoo via a hand puppet of some kind down the bottom there. So we're going to play 3 songs for you today. And it's going to be a little odd because of the latency on the lines, we can't all join in. So I'm going to play along, but play. And then, you guys at home, if you can join in, that would be ace. And it'll be a visual join in, and then when eventually we can be at a MaDCaff again all together, we would absolutely love to see you and make that a raucous noise to raise the roof on wherever that is. But if you can raise the roof at home, that would be ace. We're going to start off with some Spice Girls. It seems like a good way to start. So this is Say You'll Be There. And you should see some Ghostbusters dotted around. Well, you're all Ghostbusters now, but if you're a Ghostbuster who's been rehearsing this to us, please wave, say hello, put your cameras on, folks. All right, here we go. Can you hear it all right? Is that coming through okay? There's 2 thumbs up from Alan. I'm taking that as a positive. Right, here we go. I everything on this, I swear. Just promise you'll always be there. I'm giving you everything, all the joy can bring. Yes, I swear. And all that I want from you is a promise that you'll be there. One more time now. I'm giving you everything, all the joy can bring. Yes, I swear. And all that I want from you is a promise that you'll be there. All right. Hey, thank you, folks. It's good to see some,
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got two more. The next song. So we're playing 3 covers. We do our own tunes. We got a couple of Ghostbusters originals, but we're obviously we've been rehearsing online during lockdown. We've been doing it on Zoom, and if you want to come along and join in, at the moment we are global. So yeah, come and join in with Ghostbusters on Wednesday. If you just search Ghostbusters Official on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, then you can you'll find us and just ask to join the group, and then we can send you the Zoom links to come along and rehearse with us every Wednesday. I'm trying to fill a bit because we're about to attempt. No, we're not. We're going to play successfully Manic Monday by the Bengals for the very first time. We've been rehearsing this during lockdown. So this is a debut of us performing Manic Monday. For those of you who might be playing along at home, we were playing it in the original key to start with, and I was getting a little strained on the vocals. I don't know why. It's but yeah, we've dropped it down a bit. We're starting with an A. Okay, this is an exclusive Ghostbusters debut of a song you hopefully know. Here we go. Say again. Here we go. Two, three, four. 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. Have to catch an early train, gotta be at work by 9. And if I had an aeroplane, I still wouldn't make it on time. 'Cause it takes me so long just to figure out what I'm gonna wear. Blaming on the train, but the bus is already there. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. All of my nights, why did my lover have to pick the last night to get down? Doesn't matter that I have to beat the both of us appointments down. He tells me in his bedroom voice, come on, honey, let's go make some noise. Woo, 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 woo. Time goes so fast when you're having fun. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, That is busking it. Okay, cool. I am so looking forward to everyone being back together and being able to play that and hearing everyone else playing along. I feel...
Yay!
Oh, yes. Thank you, Estacles. Right, we've got one more for you today. Thank you so much for joining in. It's lovely to see so many faces and so much movement, and it's a really lovely way to connect. And thank you to MaDCaff for putting this on. Yeah, we're going to end with some Elvis. So, yeah, let's have some... This is Suspicious Minds, and this, as always, is for our drummer Dazza. We lost a few years back, and this is dedicated to our Dazza. Suspicious Minds. Everybody good? Have we got Pete the drummer? Pete, do you want to give me a visual counting? Thanks, man. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? Here we go. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. With suspicious minds. And we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if you're an old friend I know, just by to say hello, suspicion in your eyes. Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can see these tears are real. I'm crying. I'm crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. Yeah, we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Oh, let our love survive. I'll dry the tears from your eyes. Let's don't let a good thing die. When, honey, you know I've never lied to you. Yeah. Here we go. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? Let's go, Vegas. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Cool. It's lovely to see folks joining in. I think MaDCaff is the only place where we've had a piano both times. It's nice to see. Mark, did you play piano with us last time?
I did, yeah.
Awesome, man. It's good to see you again.
Great to see you.
I make the joke every time about people bringing a piano along, and you've done it twice. It's cool.
Better late than never.
Say again.
Was it latent or were we okay?
No, it was okay. It was good.
Well, there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Away with it. Thank you.
Nice one, man.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Sarah.
Oh my goodness. Do you know when you didn't know you needed something until it happens? That's exactly what mine was. I'm ready for a night out. I'm so ready for a night out. The Bengals, the Spice Girls, and Elvis Presley. Clearly, my Spotify playlist was shared with the members of Ghostbusters. Fabulous. You get a thumbs up from Venetia Blind. Now would be a great time, I think, to take a little break. I know I'm going to top up my gin and tonic because I'm out for the night now. I'm going to go put the karaoke machine up in the living room once we are done and probably wake up tomorrow a bit hungover. So let's go for a 10-minute break, I think it is. What's the time now? It's 4:55. So if we see you back here at 5:05, yes, because that's maths, I'll be here throughout the break if you want to ask me any questions. And yes, see you at 5:05 where we'll be having a chat with our friends from Avant Cymru. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for everyone who's performed so far. Thank you for our BSL interpreters, our Welsh translators, and everyone who is making today possible. Well bloody done.
I'm going to take the spotlights off in the break so you can go on gallery mode and chat for 10 minutes if you want to, or you can go make a coffee, or you can do what you like.
So first up after the break is a film by the lovely people from Avant Cymru. So I'm going to welcome back the legend that is Sarah Beer to talk to Jamie Berry from Avant Cymru.
Thanks, Jake. Yeah, Jamie, are you there?
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm in a laser blue Man City top. I'm got facial hair, dark Celtic Scottish hair.
Excellent. It's great to see you. Thanks, Jamie.
You.
Before we watch your video, just wondered if you'd like to say a bit about the work you do with Avant Cymru and your hip hop theatre in particular.
Yeah, of course. I am here with Rachel, who has a screen off. She can't have it too long because of her epilepsy. So she is in the background. So if you hear someone telling me off for saying something wrong, that will be Rachel in the background. So the hip hop theatre work is to try and help people express their mental health. And it's something Avant was founded on, is giving people a voice to talk about the stories that not necessarily get heard. So for me, I use breakdancing as a dyspraxic, ADHD, dyslexic person to actually help my dyspraxia and actually help with my ADHD and help with my depression. It's one of the things that saved my life. So it's something which here at Avant, we all have different stories of how art has helped, saved us and helped us to heal and actually push forwards. And that's kind of what all the work is focused on. We have up and coming show on the 4th of February. So I'll make sure to put links and everything at the bottom to the show coming up. But everyone has a story to tell. And we want to discuss the past, the present to create the future. That's our main voice that we're going forward. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jamie. Okay, I'm now going to ask Rachel to hopefully successfully play Jamie's video. Thanks, Rachel.
Dark Thoughts started off as a solo in Boy Blue Entertainment. I was looking for a way to express myself and release all the thoughts that were going on in my head, but I wanted to do it in a safe way and to show that people can go in every day with a smile and be going through some horrible things in their head. Over the past 2.5 years, we have reached out to the hip hop and artistic community to build the show and to celebrate hip hop art on prescription. During this time, we have worked with Breaking Convention, Pavilion Dance, Arts Council Wales and Wales Millennium Centre to help build the solo into a new show.
Alone in a mind, with all these different thoughts in my head. dark space of a mind. Where to go? What will you find? But taking that one step, allowing the trickle of thought to take you to the darkest of places. People have intended it in many different ways. Even being creative, changing the old ways. What madness lies in here? The hatred of what seems to be in my heart? But what conjuring thoughts are these? Is this a noose I see before me? Just hanging there? If I could just use thee. But then, bit by bit, you try and fight it, thinking this isn't how I want to go on. But then, there is that doubt in your head about it. It's scary. When you get told that you're scum all day long, just from the way you were born, their point makes you believe I'm right to have these thoughts. Maybe I should just... Can I handle the part when the voices are gone?
This is now part of a whole show, including Welsh beatboxers, Welsh music producers, Welsh artists and Welsh hip-hop theatre makers, to make sure that it can all come together to celebrate hip-hop, art and its way of adding colour. Dark Thoughts is an autobiographical piece about how to use hip-hop for better mental health around mental illness like depression, and is a two-way conversation between the audience and the performers of how they use art on prescription.
Salvation from war, torn and strife, not someone bring a negative, a bad situation to make a better life.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Great work being done there by Avant Cymru. Next to the virtual stage, I would like to introduce Rebecca Jade, who will be singing for us. Diolch, Rebecca.
Helo pawb, Rebecca dwi. I am
Hello,
Rebecca.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm originally from Penmaen Mawr in North Wales. Dwi'n greiddiol o Penmaen Mawr yng Ngogledd Cymru. And now I live in America. Dwi'n byw yn America rwan. Dwi'n dynes wyn gyda gwallt brown ac dwi'n gwisgo fatha...
I'm white, I have brown hair, I'm...
brown hair, and I'm wearing a sort of grey retro outfit. Dwi'n hapus iawn fod yma heddiw. I'm so pleased to be here today. Dwi'n meddwl bod popeth ych chi'n neud yn wych. I think everything you're doing is amazing. I'm going to rush through my set because I have quite a long set and for a very short space of time. So I feel like there's a million things I could say about everyone that's been performing so far because it's just been so extraordinary. So thank you so much for having me here. Diolch yn fawr am gael fi. This is a brand new song that I wrote, and this is the first time I've ever played it live, so it's all about being brave, right? When unmovable objects meet unstoppable force, there's only one path which could be the course. I watched you pour the concrete, I watched it harden at your feet, but I don't know what you saw. I don't know what you see anymore. I don't know what you see anymore. And isn't it hard to love someone you know to be lost, to love but to hold on at one cost, at one cost, at one cost. When the air has you questioning everything, you turn yourself outwards, you turn yourself in. When the world around you continues to turn, and your balance it falters, you call like a fern. You watch them burn, you watch them pour the concrete as it hardens at their feet, but you don't know what they saw. You don't know what they see anymore. I don't know what you see anymore. These are hard to love someone you know to be lost, to let them go, or to hold on at one cost, at one cost. Diolch yn fawr pawb. So one of the reasons why it's important for me to be part of this, or so great for me to be part of this, is because I do have disabilities as well. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it's called, and also mental health stuff, anxiety and depression. And I've lived with those for a long time. And this next song is also a new song, and it's about trying to hide certain parts of your life away. But the song that I'm going to play immediately following it was one that I wrote maybe a week afterwards. And it's like in reply to myself or anyone else who might be feeling like that. So I'm going to do them both in quick succession, back to back. How many boxes can you fill hidden from view? Keep them in order before they spill over. What if they knew? If they saw the bandages and the blood seeping through, they'd know there were wounds. What if they knew? They'd feel your heart through the floorboards. They'd hear it in the room. I figured no one could ever really harm me. I hold all that I've seen. How could anyone really harm me if it's all too heavy for me? So I'll keep filling those boxes and hope I don't break. I'll keep bandaging those wounds. I think I'm ashamed. We'll pick up the scraps together, open our wounds. Maybe the pressure is better. I will be me. Our tears can heal each other. We grow our skin. Baby, we're tougher than ever for being loved. For being right here. Take it from me, there is nothing I'd see that would put me off. All you can know is that witcher would show. Let's rip the bandage off. Whoa. Let's rip the bandage off. I think I'm out of time. I have a very quick Welsh lullaby I could sing, but I'll wait until I hear from the folks at MaDCaff if there's time for. It's about 1 minute long.
Your call, Jake.
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay.
Sorry, Venetia.
So dwi am ganu, I'm having some slight weird amp buzz here, but this is Heno Heno, and you can sing along at home if you like. Heno, Heno, Heno's blue. Imma, 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 Heno's blue. Koski, Koski, Hen blant blue. Hemblad Henna, henna, hemblad Dimmer, 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 hemblad Diolch yn fawr pawb, diolch yn fawr am gwrando ac
Thank you all for listening. And I hope that you've had a wonderful afternoon or evening. It's still afternoon here, certainly.
Diolch, Rebecca. Da iawn. All the way from across the pond in the States. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Next, I would like to hand over to Alan Whitfield, who is the DAC officer for the visual arts, who organised the MaDCaff events in North Wales. Alan's going to be talking to some volunteers. So, Alan, thank you very much.
Hi, Alan Whitfield. I've got a blue hooded zip-up coat with lovely orange tassels on it. I've got my big headphones on. I've got really short cropped blonde hair and beautiful radiant looks. So that's me. Noswaith da pawb gan Gogledd Cymru.
Good evening, everyone from North Wales.
I am a guest down, so I will fill that in and then we will move on to Gwen Dean, who was our wonderful volunteer. I run 2 lots of MaDCaffs. I run one in Tape, which we've all mentioned, and I set one up from scratch in Llanfairpwllgwyn. Disability Arts Cymru had nothing to do with anything with the village hall in Llanfairpwllgwyn, and we worked alongside Jane Neal, who can't be with us tonight. And it was really interesting. The setup that we had at Tape was really warm, loving, and supporting. And the one in Llanfairpwllgwyn was a real test bed, and the people that took part were really considering their playlists, and it was 2 completely different dynamics, which was really nice to see. One of the things that come out of the stuff we did in Llanfairpwllgwyn was a lady called Lynn Gallagher got involved volunteering, and she ended up doing ceramic workshops with the village hall, which I think about 30 people engaged with, and there was stuff made to go onto the wall in the foyer. So just a really nice outcome. But yeah, I just think that MaDCaff's been a real privilege to be involved with. We wouldn't have got where we was if it wasn't for our volunteers. My favourite volunteer has been Gwen. So I'd like to ask Gwen a few questions and welcome her. How did you get involved with MaDCaff, Gwen?
Hiya.
Okay, how did you get involved with MaDCaff?
Os dwi'n cofio, dwi'n gael involved yn
I
MaDCaff.
first got involved with MaDCaff because I received an email from DAC. And I wanted to experience these things to build on my strengths. So I answered the email. And then from there, I just received an email about, they told me what I needed to do to take pictures and perform, that type of thing.
Excellent. So Gwen definitely built on that experience, as she said. So much so, I remember at one of the last one that I turned around to pack away and she'd sorted everything out for me. She was brilliant. So Gwen, how did you feel at the beginning and the end of the MaDCaff? I mean, I know we couldn't conclude it the way we wanted to, but how did you feel?
Dwi'n fel bendau because mae'n helped fi efo mental health.
It helped me a lot with my mental health It gave a distraction. I experienced help with my mental health because MaDCaff has helped me so much to do something that I enjoy. With media, taking pictures, videos, that type of thing. And performance just helped everything with life and social interaction.
Throughout both.
And also my self-confidence.
Brilliant. So for me, one of the things that is really important is that MaDCaff, once normality returns, without using any of the cliches we use from day to day, carries on in some way, because I really seen firsthand what it did for musicians, what it did for people that were lacking confidence. Another person I'd like to mention is Emlyn, that's in here tonight. Turned up, took in the first session and then got involved and has now represented DAC at the youth level that we're trying to set up. So, you know, I just think it's a wonderful thing, and I would like to say, Diolch yn fawr, thank you everyone who's helped it happen.
Yeah,
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah.
Over to you, Venetia.
Fab. Thank you, Alan, and thank you, Gwen. Diolch yn fawr. Next to our virtual stage, I would like to introduce the musician and a MaDCaff favourite, Mark Pavey. Thank you very much, Mark.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. To describe myself, I'm a middle-aged man sitting in the front room where I have a piano, I wear spectacles, and I'm basically wearing pajamas, which I do most of the time at the moment. I first played at MaDCaff last year. I think it was December, and I was actually going through a bit of a rough time at that point. My particular burden is inflammatory bowel disease, unfortunately, and part of that you can get quite depressed. And notwithstanding being a musician, which in and of itself can be quite depressing, because you tend to write melancholic songs, really, and they seem to be a bit more appropriate now, because obviously things are, you know, worse for everybody else who's seemingly having a great time. So I'm going to just basically play I've got a new album that I've been working on, so I'm just going to play it as it goes on piano. The first song is called Trouble and Wrong, and I'll play it for you now. Have face behind the pain. I see you through the winter, swimming out in the rain, trouble and wrong, sorrow and pain. Trouble and wrong might make you strong. Sorrow and pain makes a sad refrain. Trouble and wrong might do you harm again. Trouble and wrong, sorrow and pain. Okay, so the next one flows through, and it's called You Wanna Know. You wanna know, you're all about it all the time, you never will stop. Where it comes from, couldn't really tell you if I knew it or not. Through the glass I look, see your face is spinning in the wheels of time. Over my shoulder, I must look back to know what it is I got. Out of this place, out of the dark, out of this dream, this race so far, from through the sky, who knows why? Out of this dream, the silent world, and most of it is true. Just none of what we're telling you. Most of it is true. I wanna guess. Thinking of the guy that can't take my tongue to say. And maybe that's the back. Don't need to answer, I just stream my day away. Where do I turn? How do I go? What does it mean to me? Where do I turn? Where do I go? You could have thrown your life away. Out of this place, out of the dark, out of the stream, this race so far, out through the sky, out through the wall, out of this dream, the silent world. And most of it is true. Just none of what we're telling you. Most of it is true. I see you there on a toy, on a turning, lost in a daydream. Saw you running there, I saw you right here. Where is it that you go? You're trolling through the air, you're spinning all around, spinning a wheel again. What is it now? Won't you please slow down and let me figure out again? Out of this place, out of the dark, out of this dream, this race so far, run through the sky, who knows why? Out of this dream, the silent world, and most of it There we go. So I've left my watch. Am I 10 minutes in now?
Got about 2 minutes, Mark.
Okay. Would you like the next one, or would you like something different on the guitar?
Up to you.
Totally up to you.
Okay. I'll try and get through this one as fast as I can. So this is called Can't Go Back, this one, which would be skip one from there. You and I were so well met, two friends so near, so rare apart. Till you can get back to where you're coming from, where we're headed to. And I was so well blessed with days so good, so free, still with me now. Till I can get back where we're coming from, where we're headed to. Lord, I hear you fall. Down to the bottom of some lost place, my best friend. Till I can get back where we're coming from, where we're headed to. Till you can get back. Thank you. I hope everyone's keeping safe. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Mark. That was brilliant. Really chilled me out. Why can't I play a musical instrument? I've got a keyboard in the top right corner of my screen, but it is unfortunately purely for show and is just collecting dust at the moment. Unfortunately, we are coming to the end of this celebration event of MaDCaff. Thank you so much to everyone who has performed so far, everyone who has made this possible, and just thank you all for adapting so well to this odd situation we have found ourselves in. But then again, as disabled people, adapting is something we are great at, and I hope the rest of the world will have a newfound respect for us after this whole thing is over, about adapting and making things work. Now, last but not least, and closing the show for us, is Mr. Entertainment, Bob Edwards. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Venetia. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Bob Edwards. I may be the oldest person here. I've got short hair and a sort of Paul Hollywood type beard that I describe as Arctic blonde. It sounds so much better than grey or white or silver. Anyway, I'm going to open with a song that's a family favourite. It's about a tortoise, and it's got everything a folk song should have. It's got religion, animal rights, philosophy, humour, and it's very, very short. There was a man who, when he won stuff on the stalls at village fairs, would always take the tortoise, not the goldfish nor the teddy bears. He'd always answer what they asked him, what he wanted as a prize. I'll have one of those little crunchy pies. Crunchy pies, he said with hunger in his eyes. I'll have another of those little crunchy pies. I know that God invented tortoises, but was it very wise to make such small distinctions as with tortoises and pies? It could have saved these moral problems for the likes of me and you, and doubtless saved the little crunchy tortoise too. Tortoise too, please Jesus, tell us what to do. And don't forget to tell the little crunchy tortoise too. Thank you. The next one is inspired by an American guy wrote it. The American hunting season is always marked by lots of colleagues and friends of the hunters being shot, presumably because they were mistaken for giant squirrels. It's the hunting song. How well I do remember 'twas a year ago, December, I went out to hunt some deer on a morning bright and clear. I shot the maximum the game laws would allow, 2 game wardens, 7 hunters and a cow. I was in no mood to trifle, I took down my trusty rifle. I went out to hunt some prey, what a haul I made that day. I tied him to my roof rack and I got him home somehow, 2 game wardens, 7 hunters and a cow. The law was very firm, it took away my permit, the worst punishment I ever endured. It turned out there was a reason, cows were out of season and one of the hunters wasn't insured. People ask me how I do it, I say there's nothing to it, you just stand there looking cute, and when something moves you shoot. Now there's 10 stuffed heads in my trophy room right now, 2 game wardens, 7 hunters, and a purebred Jersey cow. The next one, if I can get it right, is about a nun, and it's another Jake Thackeray one, and it's another of my silly songs. Sister Josephine. Oh, Sister Josephine, what do all of these policemen mean by coming to the convent in their grim limousines? After Sister Josephine, while you, Sister Josephine, you sit with your boots up on the altar screen, smoking a big cigar. What a funny nun you are. The policeman says that Josephine's a burglar in disguise. Big bad Norman, 15 years on the run. The sisters can't believe it. No, that's not a Josephine. Just think about her tenderness to all the younger nuns. Oh, Sister Josephine, they're searching the convent where you've been seen, the nooks and the crannies of the nuns' canteen. After Sister Josephine, why you, Sister Josephine, take a farewell slurp of Benedictine before your au revoir. What a funny nun you are. Admittedly, her hands are big and hairy, and embellished with a curious tattoo. Admittedly, her voice is on the deep side, and she seems to shave more often than the other sisters do. Oh, Sister Josephine, founder of the convent pontoon team, they're looking through your bundles of rare magazines after Sister Josephine. Why, oh, Sister Josephine, if farewell shot of Benzedrine to the convent perjury guard. What funny you. No more hear her snoring in the chapel after prayers, or her lust moanings fill the still of night. No more empty bottles of altar wine come clinking from her cell. No longer will the cloister's toilet seat stand upright. Oh, Sister Josephine, slipping through their fingers like Vaseline, leaving them to clutch your empty crinolines after Sister Josephine. Why, you, Sister Josephine, streaking through the suburbs when last seen, clad only in your wimple and your rosary, a bloomin' funny nun you see. And I'll finish with one that came almost out of the air. I was having a few coffees with a friend of mine at the Dylan Thomas Boathouse in Larne some years ago, and there were a lot of wasps around, and we were swatting them. And the words of this tumbled into my head there and then, and I think she, as the resident poet, was a bit miffed that I knocked something out so quickly. It's called The Wasps. Black and yellow, yellow and black, 4 small wings upon your back, always ready to attack small villains of the garden. Picnics, parties, all fair game, floral perfumes gets the blame, simply swatted, such a shame, small monsters of the garden. But now the swatting's turned quite sour, 'cause bees don't visit every flower. Wasps also have the pollen power, small saviors of the garden. Wasps also have the pollen power, small saviors of the garden. Thank you.